Okay. Actually, Lindo committee, when we speak about that, Lindo has restrictions and other things, but there is a GS cash. As a woman, as a president of the students union also, which you were, how do you see this GS cash? And could you also elaborate the importance of GS cash and the limitations of GS cash?
GS cash is
because there have been I've seen YouTube videos, couple of YouTube videos on this GS cash. There were people accusing GS cash of being a limitation power, which they don't like that. Something you can.
I mean, GS cash is a body which was formed after the Vishaka judgment, Supreme Court, which said that there should be gender cell in workplace for safety and security of women. In JNU, it was established, and it was established after a strong student movement. GS cash is a body which is meant for gender sensitization in the campus, at the same time also conducting inquiry in case any complaint for sexual harassment comes. GS cash has student representation from different segments, community of the campus, the teachers, the current and which ensures the democratic character of the GS cash. GS cash is also it also has autonomy from the administrative structure, meaning GS cash is not a part of the proctorial board, and that is why, because it deals with specifically gender cases, so it conducts its autonomous inquiry, and the structure of a GS cash is such that it ensures that the confidentiality on the part of the victim is maintained if the victim wants so, and the inquiry is conducted. So that is why GS cash is a very meaningful institution for any campus, and it should be there. At the same time, the effectivity of GS cash in ensuring gender justice also depends on the political culture of that campus. I mean, the fact that you send representation from different communities, be it teacher, be it student, so that political that representation to be meaningful will depend upon the level of gender sensitization of that particular community. So, and there has also been complaints about GS cash, which I think is not always bad, because the fact that the student community is aware, not only aware, is interested about the proper functioning of GS cash, this concerns only reflect that.
Actually, this GS cash, why I was little interested as a male also, why I was as a student of English and Foreign Languages University with the experience of 8 years in the campus, what interests me of the GS cash is, the campus is, in every campus, even I'm not sure of JNU, but you can comment on that. Even JNU campus, every campus is very caste biased and patriarchy biased. Caste bias has been addressed by various levels. Even at this point of time, you can find that AISA, DSU, all of the left organizations, at least they come and address it with the caste questions. For example, a SC/ST women or somebody faces a problem. But however, the patriarchy question in the campus, I don't think it has been addressed. The reason is, for example, girls facing problem in the men's hostel or women's hostel, or while the walking problem, the common problem, there will be many girls who won't be coming out to the GS cash. So that what I was interested to ask you is, as a woman, how do you see, apart from disassociating yourself from this AISA and DSU, as a woman, if you see as a student of this university, in your experience as a president also, were you ever, how the patriarchy functions here in this campus atmosphere?
I mean, you are right that campus is a reflection, a part of the society itself. And our society at large is very caste based and patriarchal, so the reflections are there. But at the same time, because as I told you, that the presence of a very strong student movement in any campus also challenges these phenomena, be it casteism or patriarchy. So I think my experience in Hyderabad itself, I feel that different organizations or individuals are raising these issues, and in our campus as well, in JNU definitely, different progressive organizations have been raising these issues, and we have also achieved many successes, in the sense that the formation of GS cash itself is a success in that manner. It was never the administration wanted it, it was the students. patriarchy not only I think exists in terms of very crude, it definitely exists in those forms like commenting on women or stalking them or sexual violence on women, or the fact that women feel insecure while walking down at night time during on the street. But patriarchy also exists at a very minute level as well, inside the classroom, on everyday comments, maybe between two friends or a group of friends, your relationship with your classmates, with your teacher, and also at the same time the fact that at the end of the day you will also go out of the campus, you have to face the society, you have to face your family, and you are worried about your future. And many campuses do not ensure, this concern of the women students in the campus. So I think patriarchy exists in many forms, but definitely the challenge is to transform it in a better way. So in our campus we have seen various student movements addressing these issues, but there has also been lackings. The lacking is because of the lackadaisical attitude of the administration in making GS Cash a strong body.
Actually, I've gone through this, all the pamphlets of different organizations for this election campaign. I found very few organizations spoke about gender sensitivity and the patriarchy. Patriarchy they didn't address, they spoke about gender sensitivity, all are same. That gender sensitive also fell in one line, but on reservation policy, on other lines and all, it was big essays they were writing, at least paragraph after paragraphs. In every note, a single poster completely focused, in the sense at least a large part of pamphlet. I think even AISA was talking about GS Cash making a strengthening body. Strengthening body. So that what is my understanding, and I want your reflection also on that, is the community in JNU ready to address this gender question coming out openly? Because in pamphlets, for example, you talk about SC, ST, OBC reservation, implementation of this, implementation of that. But patriarchy question and the gender sensitivity on campuses, everybody says that GS Cash has to be strengthened. But GS Cash, what I feel as a student also, it's like a body where you take the case there. But the discussion between friends, that kind of a sensitivity is lacking, I suppose. That students have to bring forward, not the GS Cash alone.
No, GS Cash is primarily sensitization. It's gender sensitization committee. So when one says strengthening of GS Cash, one also means that making GS Cash more functional, making it a vibrant institution. So that it's not just there in the ad block. It's there among the students also. Any program of the GS Cash is also an agenda for the students as well. And definitely, I mean, because during elections, one of the major agenda was to ensure that we defend the autonomy of GS Cash from the sexual harassment bill. And you can find pamphlets on that, which the present student also brought during their agitation and ensured from the administration that the autonomy will be defended. But otherwise, on different social issues, we have, the organizations have conducted public meetings, process of sensitization, etc. Definitely, there is always a need of introspection. I am not denying that space. There is definitely always a need of introspection. But at least we try to do that.
Okay. In EFL University, they are demanding, students are demanding women's, there is a GS Cash also there, but they are saying that women's empowerment is much needed, and when students and all other people are looking forward the parliament bill being passed, and where we can't rely on the politicians, but at least students should initiate bringing women's reservation post in students council, students union, we call students council there. And also they say Lindo doesn't oppose reservation, therefore you can include women's reservation in that. So that what does your say on that? How do you respond to that?
I think it's a good initiative. It can be debated as well in JNU.
Okay. And do you think such kind of a program can sensitize campus on gender more, giving rotation based?
Look, what I think is reservation is definitely necessary in society to get representation, but reservation has always, in a patriarchal or a caste society, come through a history of struggle, and come through a history of empowerment as well. So, along with reservation, this debate, this movement, I think is much more necessary.
And this discussion and other parts.
And the movement for a egalitarian society or egalitarian campus in terms of everything. It's much more needed.
Okay. Actually, at present there is a committee formed in EFL University to look into this whole issue, because there were some gender biased people were talking about women should not. Actually, the post was reserved for 2 women. One president post was reserved and sports secretary. So that many males went and said that sports secretary how you can give for women.
Achha.
So that then the administration formed a committee. So the committee is, I think 20th tomorrow is the day after tomorrow is the last day for the hearing. So then what would you say for the students there?
I think it's a good initiative, it's a good debate that they have started before the student union election, and this is one of the other stereotypes that how can women be a sports representative or how can they be in army? I mean, army is not a good phenomenon or a good institution anyway, but how can they be in any kind of physical work or which carries a particular notion of masculinity that you need physical strength. So I think this is a good debate and my solidarity is with them.
Okay. Last one question is, in Students' Union, there is a lot of the Students' Union posts which are there. There are many SC, ST, OBC people come from a different backgrounds, and Lindo committee completely makes sure that they don't contest in the elections at one point of level. Yeah. So therefore, and the representation of this community is also very less in every campus. So that, is it possible to ask in Students' Union, not only here, I'm not asking in this context, is it possible to ask for gender-based reservation across Students' Union? Do you think there is a...
Gender-based, I don't get your point. I mean,
the thing is, for example, women's reservation in Students' Union, because SC, ST, OBC women and the gender, all women, like that, do you think like that, is it possible of asking?
Yeah, definitely. I think it should be debated. I mean, when one is talking about gender reservation, one should also debate about representation of women from deprived communities. And that is already a debate regarding the women's reservation bill also. But what we see in parliamentary politics is that in the name of that, the women reservation bill itself is at stake. It is not being passed. So it's actually a very hypocritical politics that, you know, in the name of quota within quota, you are not passing the women reservation bill itself. So it should actually get implemented. The quota within quota should be debated, it should be upheld, it should actually get implemented.
I only hope that one day JNU also will have the gender-based reservation. Thank you.